What is something illegal you have done and got away without getting caught? Stole a Blue Angels flag from the hangar they were parked in. When I was in the Navy, the Blue Angels visited the air base I was stationed at. They proceeded to kick all of our planes out of our hangar, and I had to fix our birds out in the rain. In a fit of contempt, on the last day they were there, I went into the mess and stole the flag hanging from the overhead beams. I still have the flag and wear it like a cape from time to time. Thievery of other units' shit is a tradition in the military. While it may have been illegal, it sure as shit isn't discouraged. There's no such thing as stealing in the military. We tactically acquire. I'm doing a giveaway of 4 $25 Amazon gift cards when I reach 1500 subscribers. Like and subscribe to participate. Assisted in semi-stealing a car. Almost 2 decades ago, my cousin calls my dad and says his car broke down. As my dad has friends with heavy equipment, he figured my dad could get a trailer to tow it on. So my dad, my uncle and I go pick up a flatbed tow truck from a friend of his and drive 2 hours to pick up the car. We find it near where it should be, on the side of the highway. So we load it up and go to a rest stop to secure it on the truck better. As my dad and my uncle are attaching straps, I'm looking at the car and noticed something is odd. My cousin's car, late 80s Audi, had broken speakers. For whatever reason they all stopped work, so instead of replacing them with normal speakers, he used house tower speakers, big ones at that back seat and passenger seat. I'm noticing there aren't any tower speakers in the car. I pointed this out and they stop and start looking at the car, then check the plate number, they don't match. Cousin had a vanity plate. My dad immediately hooks the call, raises the bed and lets it roll off into a space at the rest area. We hop into the truck and drive off to find the car. We find it less than a mile away. Audi reliability jokes aside, what are the odds of 2 identical orders, same year, color and even rims and tires being broken down that close to each other? Not only that, the owner of that car must have been confused as F. I found out that this specific guy stole my phone from checking previous text on my account and calling numbers they were in contact with. He wouldn't admit he stole it, so I broke into his house via balcony, stole his laptop, and left a signed note to meet me and return my phone to get his laptop back. It totally worked and everyone got their stuff back. I stole a police radio from a TABC officer once, drunk as hell and underage at a club. I was on the dance floor at some club and an elderly lady asked if I wanted to dance. I was like, fuck yeah, cougar action. She then asked me to follow her and I was like, yeah, this lady f***s. She then showed me her badge and I was like, fuck. Officer took me to the back office of the club and threatened to take me to jail and decided on just giving me a fine. When she went to make a copy of my ID, she left her radio on the desk. I shoved that shit in my pants. I have no fucking clue why I did this. Went outside and called my friends and told them we have to leave. Got in the car and showed them what my drunk ass did and we all had a great laugh. Never paid the ticket and never received a warrant, so I guess I got away with it. Once, I was at Target and was buying a couple of large bags of dog food which were in the basket part of the cart and several smaller items that were in the top part of the cart. I had tossed the pudding cups into the basket part before I put the dog food bags in and forgot they were there when I put all the smaller items on the belt to be rung up. They were hidden from view when the dog food bags were scanned. I saw them when I was putting the dog food bags into the trunk. If the lines weren't so long I would have gone back to pay for them, but 20+ minutes for a 99-cent item, I can live with that. If it were a more expensive item I would have returned to pay for it. I work at Target and basically, we are told that if someone walks out with something they forgot to pay for, it's on the cashiers for not checking. One lady called and said that she forgot to pay for a bottle of wine and the team lead told them they'll just mark it out. Basically, don't worry about it, but don't try to steal. My friends and I didn't pay for our dinner at Steak and Shake this past weekend. I stood waiting at the register trying to pay for 20 minutes but no one came to take my money. It was 12:30 AM before we left. I once overslept for an oral English exam. So I forged the letter I received with a date and moved it to following week. Showed it to my English teacher and she said it was probably a mistake, but I had to show it to the school dean as well to get approval for a reschedule. I showed the forged letter to him and he instantly found a mistake I made in the letter and just casually said that the letter looked badly copied. I was sweating bullets at that point because forging a letter for an exam is a pretty harsh offense and could have gotten me suspended. But he just shrugged it off and gave me permission for a reschedule. I guess since I wasn't a troublemaker he just gave me a pass. The dean was one of the cooler teachers at school though. He loved SpongeBob, and if he gave you detention work, you had to make a SpongeBob figure with a sponge and such. Worked at a car dealership, broke many finance and insurance fraud laws on a daily basis for years. Most finance managers do and may not even be aware of it. Please give details, this interests me. Lots of little things, including extended warranties and gap insurance in deals, telling customers the bank's rates would be higher if the car didn't have a warranty or gap. Paperwork magic, we have a deal on that new car for you for $350 a month. Great deal, right? You say I only want to pay $300. Okay, no problem. We'll just make it a 72-month loan instead of a 60-month loan and you'll get your payment at $299.43 and I'll throw in the warranty. Never telling the customer their original payment at buy rate on a 60-month was say $275. I just got them to bump themselves $25 a month *, 6 years and an extra $300 x 12 for the dealership and they're so happy. Wear them down. Make them wait until the point of exhaustion, where they'll sign anything to just get the hell out of there. I was visiting the beach, and when walking home with a friend from a bar at 4 AM on a Sunday night, we came across a jet ski on the beach, being bounced around by the waves. My friend convinced me to ride it back with him the next mile to where we were staying. So we rode it in the ocean in pitch black, while a storm was out in the distance. Cool, not scary. When we got to our place, we rode it around until the sun came up, and then I found the jet ski registration, found the guy on Facebook, played the good guy, and messaged him, and told him hey I found your jet ski at X location on the beach, then went inside. It was a pretty thrilling experience. I don't know how illegal it was considering it was a jet ski just left in the ocean, and I returned it, but it was still pretty fun. I stole my own car from the tow impound lot. Best part was getting the certified letter months later that they were going to auction it if I didn't come and pay for it. You should have gone back with the letter and demanded to see the car. Oh my god. Would they be liable for losing your car? Is this the perfect fraud? Edit. Commenters have notified me that this is not in fact a perfect crime and is very likely you will be caught. Do not do this. I used to have a total lead foot. One day, I was driving to my ex-wife's parents' house by myself. They lived in a small town right off of the freeway. Now, on the freeway I was driving about 130 km/h, which was standard for most drivers. When you pull off the freeway, it immediately drops to 45 45 km/h. So, I pull onto this main drag and start driving through the town. I'm about a mile down when suddenly I notice a police car pull up behind me. I look down and see that I'm driving at 45 70 km/h. A few things hit all at once. First, I couldn't afford a ticket. I was 20 miles over. I would have ended up with a $200 plus ticket just because I failed to decelerate. I was only 3 blocks from my in-laws, and though the officer hadn't turned on his lights yet, for reasons only known to me, I immediately pulled over, turned off the car and started walking. The officer pulled up behind me, not knowing what to do, but still with no lights turned on. I just kept walking without turning around. I get to my in-laws and tell them what happened. They tell me that I have to go back for my car, so I do. The officer was gone. No consequences whatsoever, never received a ticket in the mail, never heard a thing. I would never ever do it again. And that's how I got out of a major speeding violation. I'm sure he would have understood if you showed him your foot made of lead.